Alrighty, so today we are going to talk about mayflies and the different flies I use to break down the hatches and when to use them and why and that kind of stuff. So to start, we're going to go with a nymph. You can't fish mayfly hatches without fishing the pre-hatch or when the nymphs are moving through the water column to get ready to hatch. And we're going to focus on the March Browns today because they're big and easier to see. But these patterns transfer over to all the different mayfly species, blue-wing olives, pear morning duns, that kind of stuff. So I've got a size 14 standard nymph hook, and I'm using 6/0 brown thread. And I'm going to lay my thread base down. And this is basically a pheasant tail, my version of the pheasant tail without a bead. And the reason I'm not using a bead is because we're going to tie it wet fly style so you can cover both bases. You can use it just like you would a regular nymph, or you can use it like a soft hackle, where you could swing it and put tension on your line. So to weight the fly down, we're going to use some 015 lead wrap or lead-free wrap, and we're going to put 5 or 6 turns up towards the front end of the fly, like so. And we'll cinch that all down here. Maybe. There we go. And then we're going to tie in our wire before we tie in our pheasant tail. So I'm using small copper wire. And this fly is designed to be used in that 1 to 3, maybe 4 feet of water. You can use this fly right in through the riffles as the bugs are kind of percolating up off the bottom and towards the surface, or and through the tail outs, things like that. And the reason why we're doing it without a bead is so that when we swing it, it swims right, like a soft tackle would. So then I'm going to take my pheasant tail. I'm going to cut off a chunk there. And we're going to tie these in so that the tail is roughly the length of the body, maybe a little shorter. A couple of loose thread wraps, and then you can pull the feathers into place. Right, cinch that down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the feathers back out of the way and work my thread up towards the front of the fly. Then you're going to take these and spin them just like you would peacock or ostrich roll. And then you're going to grab your hackle pliers and grab the butt ends. And then you're going to wrap these forward to build up your body. 1, 2, 3. And usually 4 to 5 wraps is all you need. There we go. And that'll give us a nice juicy body. Clip the tag ends off. And then to get that segmented look, you're just going to take and wrap your wire forward. You should be able to fit 5 or 6 wraps in here for this. There we go. And that gives you that nice segmented look. Cut the tag off. And then the fun part begins. So the way I tie the head of this fly, it makes it kind of look soft tackly. So you're going to again take another piece of pheasant tail, another chunk of the pheasant tail feathers here. Right? And you're going to want to tie these in with the tips towards the back, like so. And you want this part to be about as long as the whole fly from head to tail, because you're going to fold it up over to build the wing casing and then push them all back to make the legs. And the reason I tie it like this is because it's quick. I can sit here and chunk out a bunch of these and fill the box rather quickly. And it's kind of a fine-tuning process getting the proportions right so that you don't build the legs too big. Alrighty, and then from this point you want to just build up a little body for your thorax. And you can do it in multiple colors. I typically do it in 5 or 6 different colors. You can go standard with brown. You could do a peacock or olive there, like a peacock, or like an olive, or purple or pink. I'm gonna do purple because Troots love perps. And so in the purple and the hotter colors, they just give it a little bit more flash. And then all you're gonna do is just build up a little body there underneath. Oops, there we go. And then from here, you're just gonna take all the tips of the pheasant feathers and fold them forward after I fix this. There we go. Maybe there. Fold them forward, hold them down with your fingers, and then wrap over top of them like that. Yeah. All right, couple of good thread wraps to make sure they don't shift on you. And then from here, what you're gonna do is all of the fibers are going towards the front of the fly. What you're gonna do is you're gonna part them to either side so that they're even, like this, just like you would split a wing. Then you're gonna take your fingers here and you're gonna pull them towards the back of the fly. And then take your thread and wrap over top of them lightly. Once you kind of get them in position, you can kind of shift them around if you need to. That looks pretty good. There you go. And then just kind of give it a nice tight thread wrap down to hold them in place. Grab your whip finish tool and call it good. Head's just a tad crowded on this one, but that's all right. You clip any of the excess stuff off that you don't like. And then you want to grab your head cement and give that a dash. And you can epoxy the wings if you want, the wing casing, or throw your little UV stuff on there. The nice thing about this fly is when you swing it, it's got those little legs there that kind of undulate like a soft hackle. So you can nymph this just like you would any other nymph, or at the end of your drift, just give it a little tension and it'll swing and kind of dance like a mayfly that's getting ready to hatch or moving out of the slow water as it moves up to the surface. So that's part 1 of mayflies. Next we're going to do the emerger. So that is my version of your kind of standard pheasant tail nymph that can also be fished like a soft hackle. I also do ones with beads too. The thing about beads though is when they drop really fast and they kind of tumble around the bottom. This one here, it'll do the same thing because it's lightly weighted, but you can also fish it singular and get that swing like a soft hackle. But there you go. All right, next we'll do the emerger for the next video.